Hello, prayer warriors. So we are still here in Phoenix, Arizona, uh, and today we will be giving you the message of Mama Mary that was given in October 31, 1973. Okay, so the message is entitled "From the Hands of My Adversary." By means of my movement, I will snatch many of my priest sons from the hands of my adversary. Many of them are in darkness and in the greatest of desolation because they have betrayed Jesus and the gospel. But I will bring them to see my light and to hear my voice, and they will once again become my dearest sons. I myself will bind up their wounds. I will heal them and I will make them invulnerable to any other to further falls. Hello, Tita Ninette. Tita Ninette is already in YouTube, so if you could join Tita Ninette. Hi, Jen and Benita. Good morning to you. And of course, oh, hi, Sa. Thank you for joining all the time. And Mercy and Chloe, of course. So I am the mother, and I want to save them because they are my children. Therefore, no one should feel lost. No one should despair. My Immaculate Heart is preparing this great return of my dearest sons. And the second message is was given in November 1, 1973, Solemnity of All Saints. My faithful cohort, I want every priest of my movement and every priest who are consecrated himself to me to pray, suffer and work in order to bring me back once again into the midst of my faithful. Today, more than ever, he who finds me will have found life and will receive salvation from the Lord. My adversary fears only this: he will make every effort to remove me even further from the hearts of my faithful, in order to keep me even more obscured in the church. He is now engaging in his greatest battle against me, the decisive one, in which one of us two will be defeated forever. At the moment, from many indications, it seems as though my adversary is the victor, but the time of my greatest return and of my total victory is at hand. In the decisive battle, I want my priest sons to be with me. They will be led by me. They will be docile to my orders, obedient to my wishes, responsive to my request. Since by their consecration they are allowed themselves to possess by me, I will manifest myself in them, and through them I will act to strike at the heart of my enemy and to crush his head with my heel. But these priests must now begin to act. Through them, I want to return to the midst of my faithful, because it is with them, gathered about my priest, that I want to form my invincible cohort. Of the faithful who are supporters of my movement, I ask, okay, so listen to this because this is for us, okay, that they consecrate themselves in a special way to my Immaculate Heart, without being concerned for external or juridical bonds, but only for giving themselves completely to me, so that I may dispose freely of their whole being and arrange their whole life according to my plans. They must let themselves be led by me. Like little children, they must begin to pray for me, to pray more, to love Jesus more, to adore him more in the mystery of the Eucharist, so that he becomes the sum which illuminates, he will become the sun which illuminates their whole life. What joy, what a gift of love, will Jesus in the Eucharist communicate to these faithful who are consecrated to me. Let them recite the Holy Rosary every day so as to hasten my great return. Okay. That my faithful to the Pope and to the Church united with him by total obedience to his commands, anticipating and seconding his desires, spreading his teachings, defending him from every attack, ready to fight even to the shedding of their blood, in order to remain united to him and faithful to the gospel. There will soon come a time when only those who are with the Pope will succeed in keeping the faith of my son and being preserved from the great apostasy that will be spread everywhere. That they must observe the commandments of God, and carry out everything that my son has taught so that they may be his true disciples. Thus they will be good example to all. Let them be just, especially by an austere manner of life, by repudiating styles which are ever increasingly provocative and indecent, by opposing in every way possible the spread of immoral literature and entertainment and this continual flooding from the sea of filth that is submerging everything. Let them be good example to all by their purity, their sobriety, and their modesty. Let them flee all those places where the sacred character of their person is defiled. Let them form about the priest, my faithful cohort, my great white army. Through them, my light will once again shine in the midst of the great darkness, and my immaculate whiteness in the midst of so much corruption of death. These faithful children of mine will be called by me and formed for this great task to prepare this world for the great purification which awaits which awaits it, so that the last a new world, right? At last a new world may be born, completely renewed by the light and the love of my son Jesus, who will reign over more. So now you know what's going to happen, right? It's already happening, and we are experiencing all of these things that Mama Mary had been talking here. So, if you are a parent, we don't think about this because growing up, of course, my Lola always remind us to dress modestly, right? Especially going to church. But actually, everywhere we go, we should be dressed modestly, because Lola Maria always tells us before that, if you are the one causing for someone to commit sin, right? That you are also sinning. It's actually worse than because you're causing a lot of people to sin. So for those of us who still have, you know, um, a say to our children, because of course, when they are older, when they're 18 and above, right? We can't really tell them what to do. Of course, we could advise them, but they are an adult already. But then when they are young, especially our grandchildren, this is the time when we inculcate on their minds, the importance of modesty, and especially, building a value that is not the outer appearance that is more important, right? It is your inner soul that is more important, because what is inside your heart will exude outside externally. So you will notice people who are closer to God, who are holy. When you see them, they have a different aura on them because they don't focus on their appearance outside, but they focus what is inside, what is inside their soul. So anyway, hello, Mary Grace. Thank you for joining from let's say Hong Kong, right? And Arwina, of course. And hi, Bing Bing Esgra and my cousin Pat. Thank you for joining from Manila. Okay, so there's quite a bit of people in YouTube. Okay, Sigi and Juji, of course. So join YouTube if you can, because we need viewers in YouTube. But today, I want to announce with you because June and I decided that we will have the annual retreat for the teens because during COVID, right before COVID, I started this retreat for the teens in Igbaras. And because not a lot of our teens are attending catechism because there's not a lot of catechism teachers are volunteering now. So if God doesn't ask us to be talented to do his purpose because he will take, whatever we have and use that, right? God will use whatever talent we have, whatever time we have, you know, for his greatness. So he will do his part for us to be successful. So we should not worry about that. All we need is, we are available and like Mama Mary, we're going to say yes without hesitation when God is inviting us. You will feel this in your heart, for if you are invited to do some um something for him. And in order to win the battle against Mama Mary's adversary, which is Satan, we have to educate our kids, right? About the faith. Who will educate them, do you think? Okay, we are expected to educate them. So, when I started the teen retreat, like 3 years ago before COVID. I was planning to do it every year, but COVID happens, right? COVID happens. So then I was not able to go home. So this year, since I don't have a job anymore, like a full-time job, I'm gonna go home in June, right? And then our retreat will be June 8th. It's gonna be in Igbaras. But even if you don't live in Igbaras, you could go attend the retreat. It's free for everyone. And it will be awesome, okay? And I have lots of treats for the kids, and it's everything is free, okay? We feed them, we give them, you know, a lot of important messages that, you know, it's not only to me learning, in school, right? Learning how to read, learning how to become employable, right? That's why we go to school. But do you think that learning about God and learning how to live a life that's pleasing to God is more important than that? Because eventually, right, our goal is to go to heaven. And if we don't educate our kids, who will? So today we're going to pray because now I realized that I should not tell God, right? I should not ask God what to do. I will be like Mama Mary that will just tell God my plans and then whatever, the problem is. But I'm not going to tell God what to do anymore because God knows what to do and what is best for all of us. So then I will just tell God, okay, we're going to have a retreat in July 8th. So it's up to you if you want us to become successful. You work the other parts of it. Now I don't have any specific step by step plans. I just know that I'm gonna give that retreat, okay, in July 8th in Ibarra, so the whole day. And the teens, they should be at least 10 years old, okay, to be able to understand because it's going to be high school and teens and some college. It's hard to talk when the gap is really really wide, okay? So anyway, that's that's the plan for July, and we're going to pray for it. At the same time, we are praying that more people will join, the Marian movement of priests, because this is our ministry to help build, you know to build the kingdom of God, and also vocation. We ask for vocation, more vocation. If there's no priest, there is no Eucharist, right? And then we don't have the nourishment that we need, right? The food for our soul. So our soul